Okay. Oh,
Hello.
I'm at. All right. Good afternoon. I'd like to call the Tuesday, December 17th, 2024 meeting of the Moorhead Public Service Commission to order. The Moorhead Public Service Commission welcomes and encourages customer input on issues listed on the agenda or of general water, electric, utility interest, time and commission permitting. Speakers are limited to 3-minute presentations. Customers wishing to address the commission regarding a specific agenda item will be afforded an opportunity during the discussion of that item. Customers wishing to speak on matters not listed on the agenda will be given the opportunity to do so under the heading Customers to be Heard and/or Recognitions. Each person requesting the opportunity to speak is asked to fill out a request to speak form located in the back of the room, presented to the administrative assistant in attendance at the meeting. Any follow-up or feedback will be done by email on anything that cannot be resolved this evening. Commissioners, Matt Gilbertson will be participating in this meeting virtually from the address located at 1458 Cleveland Avenue North, St. Paul, Minnesota 58108, which location is open and accessible to the public during the meeting. Commissioner Heidi Durand will be participating in this meeting virtually from the address located at 3625 22nd Avenue South, Moorhead, Minnesota 56560, which location is open and accessible to the public during the meeting. Okay, I'd entertain a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
So moved, Durand.
I have a motion by Durand, seconded by Paulson, to approve the meeting's agenda. Discussion. Okay, Baker,
Aye.
Paulson,
Aye.
Gilbertson,
Aye.
Durand,
Yes.
Thompson, yes. Okay. I entertain a motion then to approve the consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion by Paulson, seconded by Baker, to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? Okay, Baker,
Aye.
Paulson,
Aye.
Gilbertson,
Aye.
Durand,
Yep.
Thompson.
Yes.
Thompson, yes. Okay, customers to be heard and/or recognitions. Mr. Schmidt.
No customers to be heard this evening based on the audience. Recognitions, do you want to do it or me?
Go ahead.
Commissioner Mary Daly has resigned as Ward 1 representative for the commission. Jason Ness was appointed last week by council to replace her. We want to wish Mary good luck in her living in Mankato permanently now, since she is no longer a resident of Moorhead. And also want to recognize Matt Gilbertson for his 2 years on the commission. Matt, of course, was not reelected, and so he will be replaced as well after the first of the year. So thank you, Matt, for your service as well.
Yes, I'd like to thank Matt and Mary, but she's not with us, so. Okay, no other recognitions or customers? Old business? No, moving on. Reports, City Council. Mr. Gilbertson?
Nothing to report at this time. Merry Christmas.
Oh, thank you very much. Public Service Commission? Okay, General Manager's report, Mr. Schmidt.
Yep, just a couple items on the general manager's report here. MPS staff participated in the Holiday Lights Parade that occurred on December 7th. Threw out about 125 footballs and about 324 pounds of candy. Also, staff was involved with the Salvation Army bell ringing. This is the second year we've done this in a row. That was between December 2nd and December 13th. About 42 and a half hours of time was committed to that. And while we were ringing the bell, there was about $2,000 raised for the Salvation Army. So those were great opportunities. Today, Mark Pritchard and I met with the West Central Regional Water District that is being developed currently. Met with them to have some conversations about potential anchor point for Moorhead, or Moorhead being a potential anchor point, and working through some conversations on that as well too. So potentially more to come on that in the future as well, as that continues to develop. They're looking for a lot of funding to stand that rural water district up. And then finally, we did have a issue at the water plant yesterday. We had a chlorine gas tank that had a bent valve on it that came from the distributor. We worked with the distributor and the Moorhead Fire Department to get that tank removed from service and properly out of our facility, so we had some concerns on potential chlorine gas leak. Earlier this year, we actually did a test run of that with the fire department, so kudos to the fire department for coming out and helping us with that, and staff in-house that recognized the issue as well. So kudos to his team and fire department for that.
That could have been,
Very bad.
right, yeah.
It's not good stuff.
And thanks to the staff for participating in those 2 holiday events. That's always nice to see MPS out in the community.
We're actually doing a toy donation as well internally, so that just finalized today as well.
Nice. Okay, let's go ahead and accept the general manager's report. So I entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Baker, seconded by Paulson to accept the general manager's report. Any discussion or questions? Okay, seeing none. Baker,
Aye.
Paulson,
Aye.
Gilbertson,
Aye.
Duran,
Yes.
Thompson, yes. 8D, AMI.
Sure. I'm going to have Kurt McLean come up. He's our IT division manager. Kurt and Jake Long, our water distribution manager, have been working very hard for about a year now, trying to get since we signed the contract with Wesco for the AMI project, and wanted to give you guys an update on that. So I'll let Kurt go ahead and kind of say what's been going on and where we're at and what's some of the next steps. Go ahead, Kurt.
Yeah, Kurt McLean, IT Division Manager. As Travis said, it's been just about exactly a year since we signed the contracts, and there's been a lot of stuff that's gone on in that year, and I just thought we'd take a minute here and just kind of get you kind of a bullet rundown on where we're at and what's going on. So during that year now, we did issue POs for our equipment, so our purchase orders have all been let for equipment. Our first article test meters have all been arrived, inspected, and approved. Our system acceptance test meters have arrived, and they're currently sitting in the warehouse with the exception of about 8 of them that we decided we were going to install into a test area around our dispatch area. And upon doing that, we discovered a problem with the water modules not communicating, which was a big setback for us. So we turned that over to Honeywell, and Honeywell has spent the bulk of the summer working on this issue, and they finally issued a firmware release in October to resolve the problem. Now, during that period from June to October, we did continue to work on interfaces, so it wasn't like nothing was happening. So our meter change-out interfaces are completed and pretty mature. We're able to swap equipment in and out without any problems, both water and electric. We've done some testing with the Honeywell water modules again now, and they do in fact actually attach. And we are right at this point waiting to start to deploy equipment into the field. So we've selected a small area of about 65 meters that we're going to do an initial deployment to, and it's in a commercial industrial area so that we can get access to water meters during the day, as opposed to trying to do something in a residential neighborhood and running into problems with scheduling. If we have issues, it's the big problem. So as soon as we get the final thing completed, which is our billing interface, right now we're able to generate a file and send it through the system, but the responses that are coming back are illegible by our billing system, and it has to do with a leading zero that's on all of our equipment inside of our billing system. And the AMI systems don't like that. So we're currently working on that. And as soon as that's done, we're going to start to deploy this test area. We'll let it run through one billing cycle, make sure that the billing comes back complete, that the water meters are all functioning. And then as soon as possible after that, we're going to deploy into our system acceptance test area. So that's just kind of a quick rundown on where we are, what we've been doing for the last year. And it may not sound like a lot, but we've spent a lot of hours and a lot of effort getting it to this point. So with that being said, I'm open to any questions.
Questions?
Kurt, so when we do the system acceptance test, we'll be putting about 2,000 meters out for both water and electric?
It actually comes out to be 1,986 electric meters and 984 water meters, because there are a lot of apartments that the water is billed to the owner instead of to the tenant. So we wind up being about 50% water to electric. So, but that's where, that's how that test block lays out.
And how long, once we have those meters out, how long before we start doing a full deployment for the rest of?
The purpose behind the system acceptance test area is to prove that everything works and works reliably and completely. So we won't move forward from the system acceptance test to full deployment until everything works every single time. So that's kind of our catch spot, right? We don't want to deploy 14,000 electric meters and go, oops. So that would be bad. So that's the purpose. I can't really give you a time. Looking at interfaces right now, I don't think it'll be real long. But if we run into another problem, be it firmware or interface-wise, we're going to take the time and we're going to pause and we're going to work that out. So, yep.
Perfect. Sounds prudent.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Kurt.
Yep. Thank you.
I entertain a motion then to accept the report on AMI.
So moved. Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Paulson, seconded by Baker, to accept the report on MPS's AMI project. Any discussion? Okay, Baker,
Aye.
Paulson,
Aye.
Gilbertson,
Aye.
Thompson, Durand,
Yes.
Thompson, aye. Okay. Cogeneration and small power production tariff report.
Sure, I'll have Taylor Holt, project engineer, come up. Again, this is an annual update typically that we provide to the commission. And then also authorizes me for any solar installations that come in to sign off on those interconnection agreements as well too. So I'll let Taylor kind of speak to the report and anything else. Go ahead, Taylor.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. As Travis alluded to, this kind of has a main focus on customers that are interested in installing solar panels on their home for electricity generation. This item does three things in particular. The first thing is it accepts the cogeneration and small power production tariff report. This is a tariff report that all municipal utilities are required to update and file annually with their utilities governing body by January 2nd. This requirement has been in place for several years in order to ensure that all utilities have updated rates on file for customers who have or are interested in installing distributed energy resources such as solar and wind energy generation. The rate that is presented as a result of this report for 2025 will be 2.55 cents per kilowatt hour. This is the sum of the PURPA avoided energy costs plus distribution losses. The PURPA is an acronym for Public Utility Regulatory Policies Act. I believe it's from 1978. Essentially, it is a calculated rate of what it would cost for our generation or power suppliers to build new generation and create the energy. The 2.55 cents per kilowatt hour is a rate decrease from 3.06 cents per kilowatt hour for 2024. That calculates to a reduction of about 16.67%. Now, the second thing that this item does is approves the distributed generation workbook for 2025. This workbook is used as a roadmap by MPS and Missouri River Energy's services with our customers and their contractors to work through the process of installing distributed generation. The workbook provides specifications, application documents, and agreement templates that are used to ensure a complete application and review process. There's been a minor update to Exhibit B in Chapter 5, which is targeted mostly at residential areas of the DG workbook, which simplifies the explanation of loss factor adjustment. Since this is only an update to an explanation, Exhibit B remains objectively unchanged. MRES is the developer and the author of the DG workbook, and they will be performing a comprehensive review and update of the DG workbook once again in 2025, with the last major revision occurring in 2021. The final thing that this agenda item does is authorizes the general manager to sign the distributed generation interconnection agreements for 2025. This DG comes from templates found in the DG workbook. These agreements are essential to lay out how the DG owner will be compensated for selling power onto the electric grid. Since this agreement comes from a template authorizing the general manager to sign these agreements on behalf of MPS, will expedite the approval process of DG projects. The alternative would be to have the commission approve each of these agreements at meetings such as this, which has the potential to add 2 to 3 weeks to the overall process. Due to the role that MPS plays in this agreement, the increased number of applications and the efficiency improvements in the approval process, it is requested to authorize the general manager to sign these interconnection agreements. With all that explanation, are there any questions on the cogen and small power production tariff report, the Minnesota DG workbook, the interconnection process, or the signing of interconnection agreements?
Any questions? Seeing none? I'll entertain a motion then to accept the report on cogeneration.
So moved. Second.
A motion by Baker, seconded by Paulson, to accept the report on cogeneration and small power production. Any discussion? Baker?
Aye.
Paulson?
Aye.
Gilbertson?
Aye.
Duran?
Yes.
Thompson, aye. Thank you, Taylor. All right, then we skip down to item 15, final 2025 budget and rates.
I'll have Mark Moylan, Finance Division Manager, come up and speak to this. Again, we've been working on this since August. Had a little change up in November with the closure, or expected closure of the Anheuser-Busch malting plant, and so we had to make some modifications to that. Overall, we have not had any comments from the public on this. And also, I did a update in a city council workshop group, as we've done in the past, for the past roughly 4 years, providing them an update on rates and budget for the commission as well too. So with that, I'll let Mark handle the rest. Go ahead, Mark.
All right. Good afternoon, Mark Moylan, Finance Division Manager. As Travis alluded to, we've been working on the budget process now for the last 4 months. In September, the Commission set the preliminary timeline, appointed the Budget Committee of Commissioners Paulson, Baker, and Gilbertson, and they worked as the Budget Work Group. And we also set the rate hearing date of October 14. At that time, we were looking at, based on preliminary indications of rate increases of electric between 0 and 4%, and on the water side between 2 and 6%. As we got closer to the rate hearing date of October 14, we were able to firm up those rates to present a preliminary expected electric water rate increase of 2% and a electric of 2, water of 4%. As Travis noted, about a month later, we received some news that the largest industrial water user would be ceasing operations sometime in 2025. We still aren't sure of the exact timeline, so we moved ahead with the expectation that we would probably losing their revenue for the whole calendar year. As such, we looked at a couple of options of either doing a one lump sum rate increase to try and recoup some of the lost revenue, or phase it in over a number of years. And it seemed like the most prudent option was to phase in rate increases over the next 3 or 4 years at an additional 1.5% above what we were originally projecting. As a result, we're where we're at today, where we're presenting the final budget with rate increases on the electric side of 2% for 2025 and water of 5.5% for 2025. The average impact to a residential customer would be about 3.6%, or roughly about $4.47 per month to their utility bill for just the Moorhead public service portion of the charges. That's all I have at this time. Just entertaining now questions if you have any about the process. Again, we've met 3 or 4 times and gone over how we've progressed through to coming at 5.5%. But if you do have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Questions for Mr. Moylan? I think it's fantastic that we were able to sort of handle that unexpected blow to our budget and handle it so well. So I'm excited about keeping our rates as low as we can, given the eventuality of losing that malting plant. And I appreciate all the work that you and the budget committee did and the team that you work with. Okay, I entertain a motion then to approve the final 2025 budget and rates.
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
I have a motion by Paulson, seconded by Durand, to approve the final budget and rates. Discussion? Okay, Baker,
Aye.
Paulson,
Aye.
Gilbertson,
Aye.
Durand,
Yes.
Thompson, yes. Okay. And number 16, executive session. This meeting will now be closed for executive session as permitted by Minnesota statute section 13D.03 to discuss labor negotiation strategies related to negotiations with IBEW Local 1426. Do we expect action to be taken at the conclusion of the executive session?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. So action is expected in open session upon conclusion of executive session. Entertain a motion then to close the public meeting and open the, close the public meeting. Let's do that right now.
So moved, Durand.
Second.
We have a motion by Durand, seconded by Paulson, to close the public meeting and move into executive session. No discussion on this. Baker,
Aye.
Paulson,
Aye.
Gilbertson,
Aye.
Durand,
Yes.
Thompson, yes. Okay. Where are we moving to?
We will go to the Willow Room. Heidi, you want to get on the other link?
Yeah.
Back.
No.
Okay, we're back, so I'll entertain a motion then to close the executive session and reopen the public meeting.
So moved.
So moved, Gilbertson.
Okay. All right, motion by Gilbertson, seconded by Paulson, was it? Baker, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. We're just reopening the public meeting and closing the executive session. So, Baker,
Aye.
Paulson,
Aye.
Gilbertson,
Aye.
Durand,
Yes.
Thompson? Yes. Okay, item number 17. We got to read this. Okay. The general manager respectfully requests the commission approve a resolution approving the labor agreement between the Moorhead Public Service Commission and the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, IBEW, local number 1426, contingent upon ratification by IBEW, local number 1426, and final legal review, and authorize the general manager to enter into a memorandum of understanding with IBEW, transition current IBEW employees to the base pay structure contingent upon final legal review. So that's the recommended motion. I'll make that motion. And anybody care to second it?
Second, Durand.
Okay, a motion by Thompson, seconded by Durand to approve this resolution for labor agreement with IBEW. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none. Baker,
Aye.
Paulson,
Aye.
Durand,
Yes.
Gilbertson,
Aye.
Thompson, aye. Okay, now item number 17. Approve MPS's 2025, 26, and 27 base pay structures.
So moved, Durand.
Okay?
Second.
By Paulson. Okay, a motion by Durand, seconded by Paulson to approve MPS's 2025, 26, 27 base pay structures. Any discussion? Need to speak on that, Mr. Schmidt, or?
Nope.
Okay.
Again, I guess I could make a quick comment. We worked with Flaherty and Hood earlier this year to get a market update that was provided to us, and we're going with that recommendation for the adjustments for the base pay structure for 2025, 2026, and 2027.
So we have a motion and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none. Baker,
Aye.
Paulson,
Aye.
Gilbertson,
Aye.
Durand,
Yes.
Thompson, yes. Okay, item number 18, I believe, is to adjourn.
So moved, Durand.
Second.
I have a motion by Durand, seconded by Baker to adjourn the meeting. Any discussion? Baker,
Aye.
Gilbertson,
Aye.
Paulson,
Aye.
Durand,
Yes.
Thompson, aye. Okay, meeting's adjourned. Everybody have a nice holiday season. Happy New Year and all
Happy
that.
holidays, everyone.
Thanks.
Happy holidays.
Thank you.